Hello and welcome guys, and welcome to this short vlog. So yes, a couple of days back I had done a full-blown video on the new practical training scheme which is applicable for the students who have got themselves registered in intermediate examination after 11th February 2020. Guys, on that video I had received a lot of comments of the students who have got themselves registered for intermediate examination for intermediate course before 11th February 2020. Thus, the old practical training scheme is applicable to all of them. So guys, in this particular video, I'm going to talk about the practical training which is applicable for the old students, for the students who have registered before 11th February 2020. For the students who have got themselves registered after 11th February 2020 in the intermediate course, those students should check out the earlier video which I've already uploaded, and the link is given in the I button above. You can check out that video. This particular video is for the students who are eligible to get their practical training done under the old regime, under the old scheme. So now I'm going to discuss the old scheme and I'm going to highlight the changes which are there in the old scheme as compared to the new scheme. So first of all, who is eligible for this particular old scheme? Guys, if you have got yourself registered, which is intermediate registration, if you have got yourself registered from 1st April 2008 to 11th February 2020, between these days if you have got yourself registered, then you are eligible for the old practical scheme. Okay, so if you have got yourself registered in the intermediate, okay, this is for the intermediate registration. If you have done your intermediate registration from 1st April 2008 to 11th February 2020, then you are eligible for the old scheme of practical training, which I'm going to discuss now. If you have got yourself registered before 1st April 2008, then you are exempt from doing the practical training. You need not do the practical training if you are registered before 1st April 2008. And as of now, I think there'll be hardly any students who will be registered before 1st April 2008. So, I mean, needless to delve into that particular area. Alright, so all the students who have got themselves registered for the old practical training scheme, guys, you are required to complete your 3 years of practical training before you get your membership number. Of course, split into two parts: 6 months before both the groups of final examination and 30 months after the result of both groups of the final examination. Now 6 months is to be completed before you give both the groups. So if you are planning to give only one group of final, then you can give it without even completing 6 months of training. But if you are planning to give both the groups of final, or if you have already given one and you are planning to give the second one, then this particular certificate is required, this particular exemption is required, which is 6 months. You should have completed your practical training to the extent of 6 months. That is the requirement. 30 months you can do after the results of both the groups. For one group you can be eligible if you've not completed the 6 months training. Now, when can you start the training? The principle remains the same. Training can be started immediately after you get yourself registered in intermediate examination. Form T1 or T4 is to be filed within 30 days of commencement of the training. T1 is applicable for students who are doing their articleship from a CMA firm or an individual CMA. T4 is applicable for students who are doing their articleship from any other organization apart from a CMA firm. The next question is, what are the timelines up till which we need to complete our 6 months of articleship, 6 months of training before we can be eligible for giving the final examination for both the groups. Now guys, the timeline which is specified under the old syllabus, and I'm talking about under the old scheme, I'm talking about the old scheme. The timeline which is specified is, guys, on or before 31st May of that particular year. If you are appearing for June attempt, then you have to complete your 6 months of articleship training on or before 31st of May for June attempt. Okay, for December attempt, if you want to give December attempt of final both the groups, then you need to complete your articleship on or before 30th November. 6 months articleship should be completed. Now this is for the old regime. Please note that for the new syllabus students, for the new practical training scheme students, these dates are different. This is for the old syllabus, old scheme students. Okay. Yes, you need to file form T5 before 31st May for completion of 6 months of training, and you have to file T5 before 30th of November for completion of 6 months of training if you want to give June or December attempt respectively. Now, of course, there's a provision for exemption of this particular training. So if you have already completed your training under the requisite person, we'll be discussing about the requisite person who can give you training. If you've already completed, then you can apply for exemption under Form T3. And again, the timelines are same, 31st May for June attempt and 30th November for December attempt for claiming this exemption. So if you want to give your final examination, both the groups in June, you need to comply up till 31st May. Just like you have to comply till 31st May for applying for the June attempt for final, both the groups. Okay. Similarly, you have to comply over here as well. Now the question is, sir, where can we do our articleship training from? Guys, pretty much the same as compared to the new scheme. So you can do it from a practicing cost accountant firm. Form T1 is required to be filled within 30 days of joining this firm, and you can join this firm immediately on registration of intermediate. But it's always advisable, and it's my personal opinion, that you should commence your articleship once you have qualified both the groups of intermediate, so that A, you get some knowledge out of that studies so that you can apply it at your principal place, and B, you get adequate time to study for group 1 and group 2, and you qualify your group 1 and group 2, gain some maturity over the subjects, and then join the articleship. That will be much more relevant as compared to if you join the articleship from day 1 as soon as you join your intermediate course. So yes, practicing cost accountant is option number 1. Then practicing CA or CS, yes, you can do your articleship in a chartered accountancy firm or a company secretary firm as well, only and only if they have a separate management consulting division. If you have worked exclusively in this division, then yes, your articleship is approved. If you have done in any other division of this firm, then it is not approved. Your articleship is not available for giving you credit of training. Now, what are the organizations where you can do your articleship training from? Guys, the organization where you can do your articleship training from: central government, state government, semi-government, public utilities, important, banking, insurance, financial institution, public sector undertaking, universities, management institutions, etc. And again, I'm reiterating, guys, even if you are into teaching profession, even if you are teaching in the field of finance, accounts, tax, costing, then you are also eligible to claim the training exemption. That is a valid training exemption. Educational institution. Then when very important change, guys, in the new regime, NGOs are also eligible to provide training to CMA students. But in the old regime, NGO were not allowed to be providing the training to the CMA student. Now, this is a very, very important fact. If you are registered under the old scheme, then you are not eligible to get yourself trained under an NGO, non-government organization. And even for a cooperative society, under the old regime, there's a restriction that cooperative society should be doing one of the two things. Either it should be in the banking sector or it should be in manufacturing sector. That is a restriction which has been given in the old regime vis-a-vis the new regime. Now, whatever I have highlighted in green, guys, that is the difference between the old regime and the new regime. So, green over here represents that this is there in the old regime but was not there in the new regime, or it is there in the new regime but with different numbers. Now comes a very important distinguishing factor, guys. Very, very important distinguishing factor. In the old regime, the turnover limit of any other organization, you can do your articleship training from a company, from a partnership firm, or from a proprietorship firm. But the condition is that for any other organization, the threshold is turnover should be 50 lakhs if it's in service sector. Turnover should be 1 crore or more if it's in any other sector. Now, this is a starking difference because in the new scheme, the limits are quite less. They are 25 lakhs and 50 lakhs respectively. But in the old scheme, the limits are high. It's 50 lakhs for service sector and it's 1 crore for any other sector like manufacturing sector or any other sectors. Now, this is a difference between the old scheme and the new scheme. This is there in the old scheme. And what are the areas where you can do your articleship under the old regime and the new regime? Pretty much the same. Management, accounting or consultancy, cost, financial accounting, auditing, regulatory compliance, direct and indirect taxes, law, ERP systems, banking, insurance operations, valuation, insolvency, teaching in these subjects, engineering services for production of power and others, project planning, management, quality assessment, supply chain. These are the areas where you can do your articleship in the old regime. It's pretty much same as compared to in the new regime. So guys, this entire scheme is applicable for the students who have got themselves registered from 1st April 2008 to 11th February 2020. For the old scheme, this entire scheme of things are relevant to all of you. So yes, I'll also show you where on the institute's website can you find this entire scheme, because this scheme is not there in the new prospectus. Okay, for the new students, for the new scheme, it is there in the prospectus, but this scheme is not there in the prospectus. It's there on the website of the institute. Before I log into the website, guys, an important announcement: huge discount going on for CMA courses specifically related to auditing and indirect taxation, which is taught by me for the upcoming examination. So guys, call on the numbers which are given in the poster below, and please check out the discounts which are going on. The special thing about the classes which we are providing is that they're exclusively as per the CMA study material, which is the need of the hour, because you have to do CMA study material, because even if the sections are same, but the depth and length in which the sections are covered, especially in direct taxation, it might vary from course to course. So yes, exclusive classes for CMA Intermediate students referring to the study material of the institute are available with us at huge discounts. Please go on the website or go on the mobile number which are given and check out the details. All right. So guys, here when you open the website of the institute, please go on the tab which is training. Click on practical training scheme, okay, and you will get this practical training scheme old. I will also attach this particular link in the description box in the in this particular video, so you can click on that link as well and go to that particular scheme. So this is the blueprint of the old scheme which is applicable to students who have got themselves registered in CMA Intermediate before 11th February 2020. All right, so this is the entire scheme. You can read through this scheme, and whatever I have told you in brief, that is there in detail in this particular scheme. The entire scheme, guys, the fees, everything is there. Minimum stipend is also there. Everything is there. Leaves, working hours, what should be the working hours of a particular CMA trainee, what are the leaves which are eligible, then restriction of number of trainees, how many number of trainees are there. And one specific thing, guys, Appendix 1 and Appendix 2 contains the list of the areas where you can do your articleship, and list of the organizations where you can complete your articleship from. So that is appendicized in this particular link. Also, guys, the forms T1, T4, all these forms are also available on this particular link. So this website contains this link. So you just copy this link on your laptop, and you will go to form, whatever forms are required to be filled. The link is given in this particular website itself. Okay, so this page is there for all of you who are registered on the practical training scheme old. Just read through it if you have any problems, and yes, still if you have any queries, then please do write in the comment section below what are your problems, what else do you want to know about the practical training, and I'll try my level best to make a video and clear all your doubts regarding the practical training, be it old or be it new. Alright, so yes, that's all for this particular video, guys. See you in the next video. Till that time, all the very best and happy studying. Bye bye.